tell me one thing. What kind of ovation will James Milner get? Because the last time we played, I don't think it was a full house at all.
I mean, there were no fans, I think, right?
अच्छा,
I think
2,000 वाला scene नहीं था.
नहीं, कुछ नहीं था.
Okay.
So there were no fans. I think Milner, I think everyone likes him because generally he's just like a decent guy and model professional, and I don't know, everyone sees him as like the one that got away.
The international break is done, and as usual, the international break brings a bit of controversy. This time, it's the Samba controversy. We'll get to that in a bit. It's a very, very crucial phase for Liverpool Football Club because we have 6 games in 18 days coming up. The games come thick and fast. The first one is against Leeds United at Elland Road, and that is why Varun joins us. Varun, thank you so much for being part of Menace in the Monk.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Like it's really cool to be here.
The pleasure is all ours. Varun, before we get started about the game, you guys haven't won a game in the league so far. What do you make of the season from Leeds' point of view?
Okay, so last season was refreshing. It was something I'd expected us to do, like come out of the blocks firing, and like the strong fitness that we have at Leeds. I think that so people had doubts about that, but I had no qualms about it, like being successful even in the Premier League. So I think there was a little less pressure last season with no fans and all of that. And this season, I think because of the performances, the results were excellent as well, but just the basis of performances, I think there's a little more pressure this season. And I think it'll be a bit of a challenge to carry them forward. But I think after a few games, I think we'll get back to the stage of what we were the last 10 games of the season.
Right. And Varun, I've got to ask because, as a matter of fact, a lot of times, when I do check out the championship table, and I was always looking at where Leeds were, because I have always felt that Liverpool and Leeds, there is a bit of similarity in the way our clubs are. I mean, not in terms of anything else, technicality, but just the way the fans are, just the way, Bielsa is revered around Leeds and, how Klopp is around Liverpool. Do you feel the same way? Do you think there is a bit of similarity between us?
Yeah, I do absolutely agree. I think I have a soft spot for Liverpool, like full disclosure. But this, I think, mostly I think for people like us, like who have no like real personal connection with the clubs in the UK or anywhere else in the world. I think it's the fans over there and the culture around the club that after a while draws us even closer to the club itself. So for me, and what's similar with Liverpool fans is the siege mentality. The us against the world kind of attitude that Liverpool and Leeds fans, that's how they live, right? And we're not blessed with all the cash in the world like the Man Cities and the Manchester Uniteds and the Chelseas of the world, but like we still have that pride, that passion, that unwavering loyalty. And I always I love fans. Like that's why I really love football also.
Yeah, this is also the James Milner derby, by the way. But I remember the last time we played Leeds at Elland Road, which was last season. Controversial circumstances. The European Super League saga had happened, and I remember when the team bus came in, there were Leeds supporters booing our team, which I can understand in a way as well because of how we look at each other's clubs. But now things are very, very different, Varun, because fans are going to be there. This is the start of the season. But Varun, is this the type of game you think Leeds want after the international break, considering they have not won so far? Is Liverpool an ideal opponent?
Yeah, I think so, because Liverpool is not like, 5 at the back and sitting back and waiting for a counter attack. You all are very much front foot team. So I think that works well for us. I mean, obviously the difference in quality in terms of personnel is obviously wide, but I think it's a perfect thing. The atmosphere is going to be amazing. It's at Elland Road, so the fans are like, this is like the biggest game of the season so far.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to be very electric. I think it's going to be great fun. Like, if not for the result or whatever, but I just think performance and the general atmosphere is going to be excellent. And two attacking teams and two teams that are on the front foot always. So I think as for neutral also, I think it'll be a fantastic game.
Nidhi, two attacking and very loved managers as well, Nidhi, Klopp and Bielsa.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Manas, what is your opinion on Bielsa? I know, I'll tell you something. When Leeds were promoted, I was always looking for, Leeds to come back because, we've been watching football for some time. You remember the time of David O'Leary and, those things. But, Manas, we've always thought of, Marcelo Bielsa very, very highly. And what's the take from you guys on Bielsa and Klopp? Manas, I want to ask you about Bielsa first.
I really like the man. Like, I really like the man. He is just so passionate on the touchline, which is very much similar to Jurgen Klopp. But he wears his heart on the sleeve, and he, when they got promoted, I remember a video. Bielsa was in his neighborhood with the fans, and it just felt very homely, And we come from a school of thought, like Varun rightly mentioned, and you also suggested that there's a similarity, there's a feeling of warmth, and the way he plays, whenever, even if they are losing, Leeds United go for it, whether technically it's the right thing to do or not, but as a neutral, I feel it's absolutely amazing. So Bielsa ball is something which I really love, and that entire Spygate incident which happened, that was so bizarre, and how unapologetic he was. He's like, sab karte hain bro, haan kiya maine, kya galat. So I was like, kya bindas aadmi. I really like Marcelo Bielsa, bro.
And I must come to you, Varun, and talk to you about Klopp, because that'll be interesting.
Oh, I'm a big fan. Like, I think if like one day if Klopp decides to go to a club which is not as historically, the recent history is not so rich, I think I would love to have him at Leeds. But yeah,
that's
I just love the way.
Liverpool, bro. That's why.
He
won't do it again.
So for him, maybe certain kind of people, they don't want to go to like a Chelsea or a Man City, these kind of clubs who have just recently been like upstarts. Exactly. I'm sure I'm like gonna get a lot of people pissed off because I said that. But like it's more like it's more than just about the trophies, and all those clubs being very successful at Liverpool. But just admire the way that you all play. I think one of the most watchable teams in the league since quite a few years, especially since he's come. Liverpool, pride yourselves on net spend, not been the most high, like the most prolific, like the highest spenders in the league and all of that. But just the way that he improves players like Andy Robertson, 5 million from Hull City, becoming one of the best left backs in the world. Like these kinds of things, I think are really admirable. And just like the attacking play and being the protagonist all the time, I really appreciate that as compared to what Chelsea and Man U have done in the most recent years. So I really respect Klopp in that sense.
When you look at our team, Varun, which is that Leeds United player that you see? I'm not going to ask you which is going to be a threat for you, because most obvious offensively is Mo Salah. But when you see a Liverpool team, right, you see 11. Which player do you think, bro, this player has the Leeds United quality under Bielsa? Just a very random question which came to my head.
I would definitely say that Robinson is one of them for sure. I would say Firmino as well, just for his work rate, his intelligence, just constantly working all the time. I would love to have him as a striker. Obviously, Bamford's doing a brilliant job, but Firmino is definitely the Bielsa mold. Who else? I would probably say Henderson as well. Just so solid, and he like works really hard for the team, and he's just like a very selfless player. So yeah, I think these players fit in the Leeds mold under Bielsa.
It's interesting that you say Henderson, because I have always had this discussion. Manas, I've mentioned it to you so many times. Calvin Phillips is like a younger version of Jordan Henderson. Like, he's connected to his city, his family, his club. And, Henderson as well. After 10 years at Liverpool, he hasn't forgotten Sunderland. Like, it just feels like Calvin Phillips is like a younger version of Hendo. But boys, let's address the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the most important part, which is the fact that we'll be without our Brazilian players. Manas will be looks like we'll be without Alisson, Fabinho. Fabinho is out injured anyway. And Varun, for you guys, I'll come to you first. Raphinha is going to be out. So how worried are you with that?
Yeah, like it's a huge loss. I think along with him and Phillips, these are the two most individually like gifted players in the team. And with one of them is missing, I think we lose. With Phillips, we lose like that solidity in the midfield and that cover for the backline, which we need. And with Raphinha, it's just that unpredictability, that work rate. Like he's just up and down all the time on the wings, and he just has a moment of class in him.
Yeah,
So it's a huge miss, but hopefully, if Dan James is deemed fit enough by Bielsa standards, I hope that we can unleash him in this game.
Wow,
It'll be exciting
listen
to see
now,
how he develops.
Varun, you've like literally pinched me right now. Like Dan James has signed for Leeds United, and Nidhi, like he can't score against, man. Like we can't let him score against. It can't happen. Like what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen on Twitter. But sorry, Varun. You were saying something. I got very animated.
No, I mean, it'll be a class if he can come in like off the blocks and kill it. Because Bielsa's been like orgasming for him since like 3 years now. He really wanted him when we won the championship. Then he obviously didn't work out because of some issue, and then he went to Man U, and I think he's not fulfilled his like potential there. So I think not now immediately, but obviously after a few months, you'll see like what Dan James can really be under a coach who really appreciates him. And a lot of the Man United fans have been really happy and like they're delighted about the transfer fee that they got for a player they don't rate. But I'm just waiting to to throw that back in their face because I think he'll be really good.
Yeah, I mean Bielsa wanted him. Manas, do you think we'll be able to cope? No Fabinho, no Alisson.
Listen, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, this is a team which, like, last season was bad, but the season before that, 99 points. The season before that, 97 points. The season before that, won the Champions League. So we have the same spine. Sure, Alisson is out. Kelleher has proved that he is a decent backup. Pretty decent backup. Fabinho being out is going to be a huge miss because he's just so good in the middle of the park. He's one of the best defensive midfielders in the world, and him being out is going to be a huge miss. But I think it's tailor-made for Henderson to be in there. I think, unfortunately, Naby Keita ka bhi jhol hai. We know that whether he's landed or not so far, I have no idea because of the political situation over there. Thiago, not a bad replacement to have, Nidhi. If Thiago steps in, I'm confident. I don't know about Elliot, but I think all in all, we have the depth. There is some sort of negativity which you and me have discussed, which we don't like, but there is no need for that if you ask me, Nidhi. How are you feeling?
Listen, I don't think in the short term there is a problem at all. I mean, we can play Henderson in the Fabinho role. We have Thiago, we have Oxlade-Chamberlain, we have Curtis Jones, we have we maybe Elliot is also available. So we have options. Of course, you would have wanted ideally Fabinho to play. I mean, Leeds United are a quality side. You want your best players to play. But we deal with what we have. This is what is in front of us, and I think we'll be able to deal with it. Without a big problem as such. We'll see.
In the 3 games so far, Varun, from Leeds' point of view, who has been the standout performer according to you?
Actually, it's been weird, but like the whole system has not been too good this season. But I think Raphinha has looked good. But 1 out of 3 games, you can't judge. So I think when the whole system collapses, it's tough to figure out who's the best player on the park because it's hard to shine in the system that we have. But Raphinha looked really good against Everton. He looked class. Yeah. And I think Phillips, hopefully, once he gets a little more match fit, I think he'll be match fit after playing for England now, 2 games. So I think looking out for him to have a big role in the team.
And Varun, I've got to ask you this. So, what's the ideal starting lineup that you would go with for Leeds, of course?
Goalkeeper Melier, left back Firpo if he's fit. Centre backs would be Strauch. He's a left-footed centre back, and on the right centre back would be Lorente, with Ayling on the right. Defensive midfield would be Calvin Phillips, with Dallas alongside him at number 8, and Click at number 10. Raphinha on the right, Harrison on the left, and Bamford as striker.
And no Dan James in there yet?
Super sub. I think it's good. We need good bench strength. I think this season we lacked it a lot last season. We had like kids on the bench. 7 out of 9 players are all academy kids. So I think having someone like Dan James would be brilliant. And he's good competition for Harrison. But Harrison, he's earned his place in the team.
Fair. Before we end this video, just a few more questions to you, Varun. Honest expectations this season from Leeds' point of view? Do you think a good cup run is something that you are expecting, or because it's just the second year after coming back after a long time the top flight? So is survival still the key? Because what happens, they say, Varun, the second year can be the toughest.
It's true. I think we've seen it with a lot of teams struggle in the second season only because of the weight of expectation and maybe tacticals like a surprise. But I find that hard to believe sometimes because of the amount of research that goes into analysis and all of that. But I think I would love a good cup run. We haven't had a good cup run, I don't know, like a long time. I think 2011 was the last time we had a decent cup run, where we beat Man U in the third round when we were in League One at Old Trafford. That was a brilliant day. But I just think so. Before the transfer window began, I was very optimistic. I thought, we'll push for Europe if we spend and we get a good central midfielder in. But unfortunately, we haven't been able to do that. I think that's an area where we're lacking in terms of personnel still. So I would say I would expect top 10 only because I know how good this team can play and how Bielsa can. He's too dynamic. He can he's not one to to get figured out very easily. And I would expect 10th, and I'd be really happy if we came close to Europe again. But before the season started, I was expecting some really great things like top 6, top 7. But I think the other clubs have strengthened a lot. Like Wolves are looking very strong this season. Spurs are looking good again, and Everton have Rafa. So West Ham doing well again.
Aston
So
Villa.
I think Wolves
Aston
have
Villa
not won a single point yet. No, Wolves. I think
they look really good.
Yeah. I mean, the signings like Trincao and all, very, very good players. I think. Yeah, they are a good team. I think they're going to improve. Nidhi, to finish it off, what will be your starting lineup?
I would. Okay. I'll start with the front line, of course. So Salah, Jota, Mane, then Henderson, Thiago, Curtis Jones, and I'm only saying Curtis Jones because I'm counting out Elliott and Naby Keita both out. Otherwise, it would be Keita. Trent, Virgil, Matip, Robbo, and Keller. What about you, Manas?
Pretty much the same. I think if Naby Keita is available, Naby Keita starts for me.
Yeah.
I might just throw in Milner.
Is he fit? Is he fit?
I think he is. Yeah. I mean, I haven't read anything about an injury update.
Yeah. Listen, I would.
If he's fit, I would throw him in this fixture, man. He would know what this is all about.
So, I would love Milner to play in this one, but I think he's unfit.
Varun, tell me one thing. What kind of ovation will James Milner get? Because the last time we played, I don't think it was a full house at all.
I mean, there were no fans, I think, right?
I think we played. No,
kuch nahi tha.
Okay.
So there were no fans. I think Milner, I think everyone likes him because generally he's just like a decent guy and model professional. And I don't know, everyone sees him as like the one that got away and all. But there's been no real, I'm just glad there's been no real clamor for him because I think he's very devoted to Liverpool now. And I don't think we really need him. We could have needed him maybe the season that we were in the championship, but obviously he was too good for that level. But yeah, I think he'll get a great ovation for sure. I think Leeds fans will be happy to have him, and I think he'll reciprocate that with the fans as well.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be a good thing to see if we end up winning the game. It'll be good to see Milner get a good reception as well. Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
Irrespective.
But to just end things, we saw a video of yours, Varun.
Yeah.
I think Premier League World, Premier League India, which was a really, really nice video. And we relate to it quite a lot because me and Nidhi have had the good fortune of actually going there and
Oh,
watching
nice.
it. And when is it going to happen?
I don't know. I would love to go.
आपको welcome कब करेगी?
I would love to go until Bielsa's still here. Yeah, I mean, I would love to go anyway. Like whenever I used to listen to the games on the radio and stuff. Like obviously the results were shit and the performance was pretty bad as well. But what would like excite me is the sound of the fans singing, irrespective of how badly they were playing and like irrespective of how poor, like low, or not unfancy the opponent was, like how far they had fallen and all. But the fans were still always amazing. So that's always a special connection. I would love to go this season. And after this video, in fact, so many amazing fans have reached out to me, and like I've got into talking terms with them on WhatsApp, willing to offer me like a season ticket of either their own or like their families. So yeah, I would love to go. Like, and this season will be ideal, not only because we're in the Premier League, but it will just be amazing because the positivity is back there, and the football on view is like it's dreamlike. So I would love to go.
Absolutely.
Nidhi, that's amazing, right? He said that people are willing to give him a season ticket, which is very similar to what we have experienced at Liverpool.
Nice.
So, I mean, Menace watched his first game at Liverpool at Anfield, and his first game at Anfield was Liverpool versus Real Madrid. My first game at Anfield was Liverpool versus Manchester United. You know who gave us the ticket? It was a Scouser, local guy. His name is Steve, absolute legend, by the way. He gave. I mean, who gives their season ticket to some unknown? I mean, we're not unknown at this point, but he just gave it to us. I mean, it's yours. Go and watch it.
Brilliant.
So that's why I'm saying.
This is for a Man U game also. Can you imagine?
Yeah, imagine that. I mean, he could have given it
to absolutely
anybody, but he's like, let's go ahead.
Nidhi was the lucky one because A, Liverpool won, and B, Klopp keh raha tha. I saw a game where we lost, which is fine, which happens, but it was Borini, Lambert, and Balotelli up front, bro. Like, so it wasn't the best thing to witness, but absolutely.
The atmosphere must have been class still.
But on the same ticket, Manas, we saw Mo Salah's rocket. So, I mean, it evened out.
Yeah. So, we are fanboying at the moment. We are fanboying. But Varun, brother, do you want to give a prediction for this one?
I would love a victory, obviously. Yeah, I think it'd be nice to get a first victory. Like, who knows? Stranger things have happened. I would say, yeah, I'm not going to give a prediction, but I'll just say like anything can happen in this game. I think I'm not resigned to a defeat. Draw would be nice. A win would be brilliant.
Yeah, Nidhi, I know you don't do predictions, but how are we feeling on the scale of confident or a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm a solid 8 to 9. I'm confident here. I mean, this team, I'll never feel not confident about Liverpool, and this is our, the best Liverpool that we've watched. So I'm very confident.
Yeah. अब भी confident नहीं रहे तो कब होंगे? सही बात है, एकदम सही बोला तू. And we have a very, very important run of fixtures: Leeds, then Milan, Palace, then Norwich in the League Cup, then Brentford. Win the next 5 up the fucking Red Men, things will look very, very good for us. Suddenly, it will be all positive. I'm so sorry, Varun, because this is a Liverpool-based channel. थोड़ा हमें बात करना पड़ता है.
Look good this season.
For joining us, bro.
Thanks. Anytime. It's very nice to talk to you all. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for making the time, Varun. This is Menace and the Monk. This was Varun Mani, a lifetime Leeds United fan who's very soon going to fulfill his dream of going to Elland Road. This is, and our best wishes to him for that. And this is Menace and the Monk. We'll be coming up with much more content your way. Cheers and bye-bye. Thanks, Varun.
Cheers. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Nice one.
Bye-bye.